Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So as you can tell from the title of the video, today we are doing lashes. I've gotten so many requests about how to do lashes. I apologize for the noise outside. I'm not really able to control the children playing, but hopefully you guys can hear me clearly. Okay, so let us get into today's video. So the first thing that I want to talk about is the type of lashes in accordance to your eye shape. So not every eyelash style is I wouldn't say suitable, I would say flattering to your eye shape. For example, I have smaller, almost Chinese-like eyes. So lashes that would look very flattering to me are lashes like these. I don't know if you guys can see. They are very light towards the beginning and a bit heavier towards the end. So what that tends to do is it gives your eye that sort of eye lift, that your eyes look open and even brighter, as opposed to just putting on lashes that would look like this, which there's nothing wrong with them, but they are, you can see they're even from one end all the way to the other. So that wouldn't really open up or brighten my eye as much as a lash style like this. Also, we have something that looks like this. It is similar to the style that I showed you, this one. The only difference is that it's thicker and wispier. So this one also has an even dimension from the beginning to the other side. So these are also lashes that would look nice on my eye shape, but depending on the look that I want, maybe I want my eyes to look bigger or brighter, so I would go in with a lash style that looks like this. So if you have medium sized eyes or bigger eyes, I would say, depending on the look that you're going for, I would recommend either something like this, which is just a general equal length from the beginning to the end, or alternatively something like this if you're going for a more natural style. As you can see, these ones are a bit smaller than these ones, and they're also a bit shorter. So depending on the lash style or the look that you're going for, your choice of lashes, is very, very important. Okay, with that said, let us get into the ins and outs of actually applying our lashes. So the lash style that I'm going to use today is this one. This is just from a random company that I buy from in town. They don't really have an Instagram shop, otherwise I would link it below, but this is in the style number 5. The ones that are a little light towards the beginning and thicker towards the end. So the first thing that you want to do after you've taken your lashes out of the box is you want to remove it, but not from the inner edge. As you can see, the inner edge, it has lighter, it's a bit lighter. The outer edge is a bit thicker, so there's more control when you're using the outer edge as opposed to the inner edge. So what you want to do is, number one, because I always used to make this mistake, I would remove the lash from the middle, or I would just pull it, and then what would end up happening is some of the clusters would come off, and that's not, you don't want that to happen. So what you want to do is, from either end, either this end or this end, I want you to just take your packaging and then just fold it. As you can see, by folding it, you're able to get a grip of your lashes, but not at the end, in the beginning, you understand, or towards the lash band, which is where the support is. So after you've done this, I want you to very lightly just hold it towards the lash band, and then after that part is off, you just very lightly take it out like so. So let me do it to the other side just so you guys can see. So from the outer edge, you want to just fold your packaging like that, and then don't grab a hold of the lash at the end here. No, the clusters still could come out. I want you to grab it right near the lash band. So just do that, and then once that part is out, just very lightly remove it like so. Okay, so the first thing is done. We've removed our lashes without spoiling them, without ruining any of the clusters. So what do we do next? Okay, so the next thing that you want to do is to determine which eyelash is for which eye. Oh my goodness, guys, I have made this mistake so many times earlier on, whereby you see a lash cluster that looks like this, where it's really thick at this end. I would end up putting it on this eye. So this eye, for example, would look like very thick here and then very thin here, which it's like, what is happening? So it's really, really important to know which eyelash goes to which eye. Okay, so, and it's much different. You see, this one, obviously this one is meant for this eye and the other one is meant for the other eye. But when you get a lash that looks like this, it's much easier to be able to switch it up, like have either for the other eye. But it's always important to look at how the lashes start. Like for example, you see this one, it's much lighter here and it's much lighter here. So you have to really determine which side you want for which eye. Come on with me. Come on with me. Thank you, baby. Thank you. See you. Okay, so let's get back to it. So, which eyelash is for which side? So, this one ideally, because it has a thicker end, would go to your outer eye. So this eye, so this lash is for this eye. So I would put it and I would mark it like on this eye. I actually usually put it like this, like if according to my eye, like this is how I'm gonna put it on, like this for this eye and this for the other eye. Okay, and then this one is for this other eye because it starts light and then it ends up a little heavier on the end. So I'm gonna put it like this, literally like this, so that I know this side is for this eye and then this side is for this other eye. So I'm gonna take the one for this eye, okay? And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure it, okay? But one thing I'm going to do before I measure it is I'm going to cut off, listen to me guys, I'm gonna cut off the beginning part. What usually tends to happen, this part I already cut it, but let me show you on this end. What usually tends to happen is, I don't know if you guys can see, you see this little part in the beginning, you need to cut it off so that even when you're measuring it on your eye, you're measuring your eyelash, you account for that little gap that you're going to remove. You don't want to measure your eye with that little cluster and yet you're going to cut it off. So what I like to do as the first thing is I cut off this little part. I don't know if I can show you guys, like this little part over here, like this, you see this? Because if you don't cut it off, remember guys, it is going to poke you, okay? So I already did that to this eye. As you guys can see, I already cut it off. So what is beginning here is just the cluster of the eyelash. Okay, after you've cut it off, you want to take a mirror, a nice size mirror. I'm just going to use this palette from Crayons and Ink. It has a really amazing mirror. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to position my eyelash ideally where I would place my eyelash, okay? And guys, you don't place your eyelash from here. Even naturally, let me come closer. Naturally, you see my eyelashes start from around here and not really in the inner socket of my eye. So you want to leave a little bit of an allowance or a little bit of a gap so that your falsies look as natural as possible, even together with how your natural lashes start. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my mirror, okay? Take your mirror, look down, okay? And then what you're going to do is just position it where you want it to be. Ideally, you're going to position it above your lashes. I know there is this trend of putting your falsies inside, like underneath. I wouldn't really recommend that, but different people have different preferences. This is just how I like to do it. So I'm just going to place it right above my natural lash. As you can see guys, I've left a bit of an allowance, like almost, I don't know, like that much. I don't know how much that is. So I'm just going to position it. And the good thing about your lashes, when they come in the packaging, they usually have a little bit of glue, just a little bit, like just to stick them onto the packaging. So even that glue, it will still help me like to be able to measure, like it will stick just a little bit for me to be able to measure, to know where I'm supposed to cut it. Let me show you guys something. You see, if I don't cut it, let me show you how it would look. Do you see that? I would have all this little part that is extra that I haven't cut off. And I want you to notice how my eye looks. You see, when you don't cut your eyelash properly to your eye shape, your eyes tend to look droopy, like your eyes look like this. but now for your eyes, you understand? So you see this little part, because it even extends to where my lower lash, my lower eyelid is. It looks like my eye looks like it's dropping downwards, and that's not a flattering look. You want to elevate or brighten your eye, or to lift your eye. You don't want your eye to look droopy like this, okay? So it's really, really important to cut your lashes according to your eye length. Yes, so I've measured it out. This is where I want my eyelash to start, okay? And then let me even bring you guys closer, sorry. And then the end, I can see right here is where I want to cut it. And then a trick that I would say is, whenever even you've marked, for example I've marked, I'm supposed to cut just off this little cluster and a half of the second one, but it is always advisable, guys, I have my pair of scissors here, don't cut it to that length the first time, okay? You might end up cutting too much, and now you're not able to like do it again. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna cut it, okay? What I'm doing is I'm holding the lash band, okay? Always remember to give your hand a little bit of support. So I'm holding the lash band itself, and then what I'm going to do is I'm gonna cut off this first cluster, okay? That's still a half a cluster more than less than I'm supposed to cut. Is it more or less? Because I'm supposed to cut 1.5 of a cluster, okay? So I'm first going to cut off the first cluster and leave the half, and then measure it out on my eye first, see if I like the length. If I don't like the length, then I cut it again, as opposed to cutting the whole thing and then finding out it's too short on my eye and then ending up not being able to fix it. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take a very sharp pair of scissors, and guys, you should have scissors that are dedicated specifically for your makeup. Don't use your scissors for the kitchen for your makeup. Just buy a nice pair of scissors, sanitize them, because it is something that is going into your eye, and hygiene is really, really important, even in makeup, okay? Especially in makeup. So I'm just gonna cut off this little cluster, as you guys can see, like so. That's it. That's all I've cut. Don't know if you guys can see. Okay, and then as you can see, that's how my eyelash is looking. So I'm gonna go back in, measure it out, see if I like the length. If I don't like the length, if it's too long, I'm going to cut it again. If I like the length, I'm going to leave it like that, okay? Case in point, it all depends on your eye shape, okay? So just take your time with it. Cut it slowly by slowly, as opposed to cutting too much. So I'm just going to again do the same thing that we did. Let me come closer. I'm going to measure it out, start off my lash where I would like my falsie to be, and then now try and adjust and see where it ends, guys. As you can see, I actually like where it stopped, okay? It stopped right where I want it to be. So you see, had I made the mistake of cutting it too much, I would have ended up with a slightly shorter lash than I would have wanted. So that's a pro tip for you guys. Always cut a little bit and then keep cutting according to your desired preference. So I'm just gonna do the other one off camera, and then I'll come back and then we go to the next step. Okay, I've gone off camera and I've also cut the other part. I think it is important to mention that when they're making the lashes, yes, sometimes they try and make it very identical, but it doesn't mean that, for example, because I've cut off one little cluster on one eyelash, I'm also supposed to cut off one little cluster from the other eyelash. No, always go in and measure it out with each eyelash, okay? Nice. So the next thing that we're going to be doing, there's some pretty birdies outside. So the next thing that we're going to be doing is applying our eyelashes. But before we get into that, there's something even more crucial that we need to do, okay? And this is called tight lining. I don't know if you guys have heard of tight lining. Basically, tight lining means applying a black layer right underneath your natural lashes, just so when you apply your falsies, that there's an even blackness from almost inside the eye all the way out. Because sometimes if you don't tight line, what would happen is you'd put on your lashes fine, put on your falsies, put on your mascara, but there are little gaps of almost like, I don't know, not black, like it's not evenly black. Like there are some areas that maybe you can see some eyeshadow, or you know, and it doesn't look good. So I'm gonna show you guys how to tightline. Today I'm gonna be using this. This is the LA Girl Kajal Auto Liner. And if you're in Nairobi, Kenya, I got this from Vitafarm Cosmetics, and this is how it looks like. It's a retractable one, so it comes up and down. And what you want to do is use whatever pencil eyeliner you have, but make sure it's very, very black. Okay, as you can see, this one, it's very black without even too much pressure. That's what you want. And you also want something that glides on really smoothly on your eyelashes. Okay, remember, when you're using something that is pencil like and that is sharpenable, make sure, guys, make sure you don't use it when it's sharp. Okay, I know we always say that, you know, on your eyebrows, make sure you use a sharp pencil. In this case, you want to use it blunt, because you're going in very close to your eye and you don't want to poke your eye. So the blunter, in this case, the blunter the better. Okay, so this is how it's looking. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lift my eye like so, and then I'm going to look down. Okay, and then using my liner, I'm just going to start very slowly lining the inner part of my eyelashes. This part does take a little bit of practice, and make sure you don't poke your eye. Just do it slowly, especially if you have sensitive eyes or teary eyes. It's okay, just make sure you do it slowly. Or alternatively, if you do have black lipstick, because it's much thicker, I actually would recommend you using a black lipstick. I don't have my black lipstick right now, but that would actually be better because the tip of it is a bit wider. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to continue and then just line all the way like so. Okay, and I'm going to do the same thing with the other side. If you're able to get in between that little place, it's awesome. Okay, I know you're wondering and you're asking me, Michelle, is this process really important? Do I have to do it? I look like I'm poking my eye. It is not extremely important, but I would say it will contribute to how your outcome looks like. Okay, so that's all case in point, up to you whether you want to tightline or not. But if you do choose to tightline, I can assure you that your eyelashes and your falsies, the merge, will look so beautiful. Okay, oh my gosh, guys, I've been talking this whole time and it's not been recording. So I've been talking and talking and talking, and it wasn't. I hadn't pressed record. Guys. What is life? What is this life of content creation? What is life? How did I forget to press the button? Anyway, it's okay, guys. So I'm just gonna continue from this eye, and I'm gonna try and show you the two methods on this one eye. Okay, so the number one thing after you tightline, what you want to do is to go in with mascara. Okay, guys, I feel so bad, like I've talked so much. Anyway, it's okay. So whether you're using a lengthening mascara or a volumizing mascara, it doesn't matter. What you want to do is just take some of the product, and guys, avoid pushing your mascara one back and forth into your tube if you do want to go for more product. Whenever you want to go for more product, just take it in and swirl it, because when you pump it in and out, you're pushing air into the tube, so you end up having a shorter shelf life for your mascara as opposed to how long it's supposed to stay. It ends up drying out really fast. So I'm just going to use this mascara, and then what you want to do is just wipe off the excess. Make sure you're not having too much on the one, and then what you want to do is to put it right at the base of your lashes and then comb through and then push it out. Okay, and let me show you what I mean. So I'll just come to the base, make sure you don't go too close to your eye, and then I'll just comb through the base and then push it out. Comb through the base and then push it out. Comb through the base, push it out. Comb through the base, push it out, like that. Okay, you want to have a very, very light layer of mascara on your lashes, because you also don't want clumpiness, and then when you put on your false lashes, it looks really untidy. So the next thing that we're going to be going in with is eyelash glue. I'm using the Doozy Lash Adhesive. If you're in Nairobi, Kenya, I got this from Vita Farm Cosmetics in pharmacy. Another alternative for this is the Duo Lash Glue. I do prefer the clear one, just like this one. I do prefer the clear one, but I would caution you guys to make sure that you're not using a counterfeit of it, because there are a lot of Duo Lash Glues that are counterfeit out there, and they won't give you the same results. So you'll end up saying, I don't like Duo, but maybe you're using a counterfeit or you're using it in the wrong way. So I'm going to show you how I do it. So this is my lash glue, and I'm just going to take it and then place a small amount right at the back of my hand like that. And then what you're going to do is you're going to go in with a pencil brush. A pencil brush looks like this. I've already used it for this one eye. That's why it looks like it has a little bit of lash glue. And then what you want to do is go in, you don't dip it, you go with the side, okay? Because you're not going to apply it like this, you're going to apply it with the side. So in the same way you're going to apply eyeliner, that's how you're going to use it. So what I'm going to do is just dip on the side of my brush, making sure you don't have also too much product on the actual brush. And then what you're going to do is the similar way that you do eyeliner, and I am going to do a video for eyeliner for you guys very soon. So what you're going to do is you're just going to look up just a little bit, and then you're going to put it not on top of your lashes, like you wouldn't go like this. No, you're going to go on the inside part of your lash, because you want the glue to be on the inside part where you're going to put the falsies, and not so much so on your actual lash. So let me show you guys what I mean. So I'm going to go in like that. Do you see? Like I'm behind my lashes like that. And then you're just going to apply it in the same way that you would apply your eyeliner. So what I'm going to do, again, go behind the lashes, and then as close to the lash as possible, I'll just apply that eyelash adhesive in the whole area that I want my eyelash to be placed. Like that. And if some of the eyelash glue does end up going or getting on your eyelashes, it's okay, as long as the majority of it is where it's supposed to be, like that. And then what I'm doing is just making sure that I apply just a little bit of extra product at the ends, because you want to secure your eyelash, okay? And the ends is where you can really be embarrassed, because your eyelash could be looking nice, and then at the beginning it's nowhere sticking to where it's supposed to stick, you know? So just adding a little bit of extra glue right there, like so. And then you're going to apply the eyelash. But because I've already done this eye, I want to show you the other way that you can use your eyelash glue. So I'm just going to take some of the glue, and then I'll apply it to the lash band, like this, right on top. But you don't want to apply too much of it. You just want to apply enough, and again add a little bit more on the ends. Like I said earlier, guys, this is not what I usually do. Usually I just apply it like this, and then I put my eyelash. But because I've already done this other eye and it wasn't recording, I'm just going to show you how you would do it if you prefer this method of putting your eyelash glue on your lash band. I actually don't prefer this method because sometimes it ends up being a little messy. But if this is your preferred choice, please do it, okay? Life is about finding out what works easiest for you and doing that, okay? If this works better for you, fine. If this works better for you, fine. So I'm just gonna give this a little minute to get tacky. As you can see already, this glue has already said becoming clear, okay? So when your glue starts becoming clear, or just after a few minutes when it's slightly tacky, that's when you want to apply it. And when you have applied it on your lash, you can just either use a fan or just do this to quicken the drying process. But let me give this as an extra tip. If you are going somewhere, for example, you're going to be on a motorbike or somewhere where there's a lot of wind, and your eyelashes are gonna be in jeopardy, okay? They're gonna be in trouble, okay? I would recommend doing this and this together. That will make sure that your lashes are really well stuck on and that they have that extra hold. Do you understand? But it doesn't mean that you have applied too much. Actually, as you can see, I've applied very little on the lash band. but according to whatever look you're going for, do it. So what you want to do, let me move you guys closer. I don't know why I'm not able to move closer like that. So what you want to do is, again, take your mirror, look down. The very same way you measured your eyelash beginning to end, or end to beginning, that's the same way you're gonna put it, okay? So I'm gonna start with the end, okay? So let me come closer. I'm gonna use a mirror, I'm gonna look down, and then I'm gonna start with the end, okay? So what you want to do is hold it, like for example, I'm starting here, so I'm gonna hold it at the end, okay? So just go in. I hope you guys can see. You're gonna go in and then apply it right on top of your natural lashes, just the way it would be. And then now you start adjusting it, okay? The point here is to make sure that your eyelashes that your eyelashes, your falsies, are as close to your natural lashes as possible. So right now I'm just adjusting. Feel free to remove it, especially before it gets really dry. Feel free to remove it and readjust it where you want it to be. And as you're adjusting, make sure you're pushing it into your area, okay? So I'm just gonna adjust it a bit here and then here also. Feel free, just as long as it's not yet fully dry, you have the option of just removing it and then just placing it again where you want it to be. The key here is to make sure you put it right above your eyelashes, your natural ones, as close to them as possible, okay? So you're gonna look down, okay? What you want to see when you look down is to see that it's right above your natural lash and that it's not, there's no part that is hanging. Because what tends to happen is, for example, if your glue dries out too fast, then you end up having a situation where the side is hanging off, and you don't want that. So you just push it in like so. And then if you're satisfied with how it looks, like right now I'm satisfied with how it looks, you could go in with a tweezer, but I prefer just using my fingers because I don't know. I just prefer using my fingers. What you want to do is you want to pinch, okay? You want to pinch your natural lashes to your falsies together so that they can be seamless. You feel me? You dig me? Okay. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna open my eye again, just look down into my mirror, and then I just come and start pinching, okay? As you pinch, some of the lash glue will stick on your finger, but make sure to remove that so that when you go into the next pinch, your fingers don't get stuck to your lashes, okay? So just remove the excess and then come back in, pinch again. Ooh, I over pinched that one. And then the extra glue, just remove it and then just keep pinching. And this is why I'd recommend you open your eyes like this, because it will give you more room to work with, as opposed to when your eyes are like this and then you could end up you know, poking your eye. So just open your eye, pinch, and then as you get to the center part, look this side, look the other side, okay? Because naturally your eyes would have that reflex of, you know, closing. So just look to the other side and then just come and pinch. Do you guys see that? Do you guys see how pretty that looks? Huh? Don't like how it looks on this side, so I'm just gonna try and pinch it upwards like so. Nice. The next thing you're gonna do is you're gonna go in with your eyeliner. I'm using the Divas Cosmetics, it's actually a magnetic eyeliner, but I still like using it for my eyeliner, even if I'm not using magnetic lashes, because the wand is really pretty and easy to use, which is what I look for in an eyeliner. Okay, so this is how it looks like. As you can see, it looks almost like a pencil. So what you want to do is just close your eye slightly and then make sure that this eyeliner that you're putting to blend everything in is thin, okay? You don't want to go in and make a thicker one, because you see, naturally I have hooded eyes, so what looks flattering on my eye shape is something thicker at the end and very thin at the beginning, just like my lashes. So I'm just going to close my eye And then just very lightly, I'm gonna connect as I'm hiding any lash glue that hasn't dried clear yet. I'm just gonna continue doing that, a very thin line, a very thin line all through. And then when you get here, just make sure that you do it even thinner. Okay, the purpose here, we're trying to just hide the eyelash glue and at the same time have an even and pretty eyeline that, like, you see, it just literally looks like I woke up like this, because I maybe did. And then I'm just gonna extend it just ever so slightly to the end, like so, but not completely. And then what I'm going to do is go in with my pencil that I use to tightline, the Illegal Kajal liner, and then I'm just gonna come and then on the inside, anywhere that needs a little bit of more work or more correction, I'm just gonna use that, because this one is better than this one for the inner part, because you see this one is a liquid liner, this one is a pencil, so it's much easier to work with on the inner part. And then I'm just gonna go back in, and any part that needs a little bit of extra loving, I'm gonna do that. And then the last thing that we're gonna do is go in with our mascara, comb through, make sure everything is nice and seamless, and that's it. So with the mascara, don't take it all the way out like we did with our natural lashes. Here you just want to concentrate at the base, okay? Because that's where we want to make sure everything is nice and black and even, like so. And we're there, guys, we're there, okay? There's the end of our video. So another thing I would recommend doing is just looking down and pushing them up, just to make sure that there is no eyelash that is poking your eye, because sometimes that does tend to happen with this process. And basically that's it, guys. I don't like how that place is looking, so I'll just go in and then just make sure and then that's the thing with makeup, guys. Whenever you see that there's somewhere that needs a little extra correction, girl, go back in, do it, okay? Don't be afraid of like making it look as perfect as possible. Yeah, I like how it looks like that. So this is the final product. You see, as I open my eyes, you don't see any, it's all black. That's how it's supposed to be, okay? All black, like all black airtime, okay? All black airtime. So this is how we are looking from the beginning to the end. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this tutorial. I'm sorry that it's so long, but I really wanted to get all the mistakes, all the do's, all the don'ts, all the whys, why we do what we do. And yeah, basically that's it. So this is our final look, and I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. I'm sorry I did this one. The camera was not working, but I hope you guys learned something, a thing or two. If you have any question, any comment, feel free to share in the comment section. I will be looking at that. For my eyeliner, again, I used Divas Cosmetics for my top waterline, and then I used the Illegal Kajal for my tight lining. And yeah, the lashes just a random place, so I can't really tell you guys where because they're not on Instagram, but it's just a random place in Nairobi CBD. And the eyelash glue again is the Doozy clear eyelash glue, but you can substitute it with Duo. I really like those two brands. And yeah, thank you for watching, and until next time, I hope my camera doesn't stop working again. Have a great day, guys.